Aerys I Targaryen died in the year 221 AC, and thus the throne passed to Maekar Targaryen, the new lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and the 14th Targaryen king to sit the Iron Throne since the conquest of Aegon. Maekar was never expected to sit the throne himself. He was the fourth son of King Daeron II and Queen Maria Martell. He was given the seat of Summerhall as his own, and was thus known as the Prince of Summerhall, the first Targaryen prince to hold the title. Maekar was said to have been a powerfully built man. He had violet eyes, and his hair was such a pale blonde that it was almost white, giving him the traditional Valyrian look. Maekar had straight hair and a square-cut beard, both being the colour of silver with a hint of gold. He was thickly built and powerful looking, but pox scars marred his cheeks. It is said that even in a good mood, Maekar could be prickly and impatient, and that he was a harsh man, quick to judge and condemn, and that this aspect of his personality was not limited to those below him, but also his family. Unlike his brother Baelor Breakspear, he was not charismatic and could not make friends and allies easily. After Baelor's accidental death by his hand, Maekar became even more stern and unforgiving, with many at court glad he was often away at his seat in Summerhall. Being effectively the Lord of Summerhall, Maekar had his own personal coat of arms, a three-headed Targaryen dragon, quartered. His armour was decorated with black curved dragon's teeth along the shoulders and down the back. He wielded a huge spiked mace rather than a longsword. As king, Maekar wore a crown of black iron points in a band of red gold, unlike any of the other, more ornate crowns of his predecessors. Maekar was the fourth son of King Daeron II Targaryen and Maria Martell. He had three older brothers, Baelor, Aerys, and Rhaegal, each who died, allowing him to become king. While King Daeron was no warrior, it was noted that two of his sons, specifically Baelor and Maekar, appeared all that he could have wished in a knight, lord or heir. Baelor was a tourney champion at 17, and Maekar seemed likely to show similar skill. As a fourth son, and low in the line of succession, Maekar was not expected to rule or hold any true power. He married young to Lady Diana Dane, and she gave him a total of 6 children, 4 sons and 2 daughters, Daeron, Aerion, Aemon, Daela, Aegon, and Rhae. Maekar would fight bravely during the first Blackfyre Rebellion in 196 AC, where he served as one of the Targaryen commanders. During the decisive battle in the war, the Battle of the Red Grass Field, it was his shield wall that held against the mad attack of his uncle, Aegor Rivers, Bittersteel, while his brother, Baelor Breakspear, attacked the Blackfyre army from the rear with a host of Stormlanders and Dornishmen. Maekar rallied what remained of Lord Donal Arryn's vanguard and made an unyielding anvil against which the rebels were hammered and destroyed, and the battle was won. Later, a song about the hammer and the anvil was made about the battle, with Baelor as the hammer and Maekar as the anvil. Baelor and Maekar played vital roles that day, and without the actions of the other, the maneuver would not have been possible, and in that case, who knows how the Red Grass Field could have played out. Despite his key role during the Blackfyre Rebellion, Maekar felt underappreciated. The victory was more attributed to his brother, Baelor, and the heirs of Daemon Blackfyre and Aegor Rivers than to his effort. In other things, also stood in the shadow of his brothers, which wounded his pride. It was sometime around 207 to 208 AC that King Daeron Targaryen had 4 grown sons, 3 with sons of their own. He felt that having too many potential Targaryen heirs was dangerous, and sent Maekar's third son, Aemon, to the Citadel to become a maester, despite his father's fierce objections. In truth, Aemon was well suited for the role of a maester. It is also known that Maekar's wife, Diana Dane, died some time before 209 AC, but the specific details of her death are currently not known to us. In 209 AC, a tourney was held at Ashford Meadow. Maekar attended to see his sons, Daeron and Aerion, compete, and his fourth son, Aegon, was to squire for Daeron. Unfortunately, the tourney at Ashford Meadow proved disastrous for Maekar and his sons. Daeron drank himself into a stupor before reaching the tournament, losing track of his younger brother Aegon, who had joined the service of a hedge knight, Sir Duncan the Tall, in disguise as Egg. Aerion later would shame himself during the joust by deliberately killing his opponent's horse, something deeply looked down upon on the tourney field. When Sir Duncan attacked Aerion in defense of Tansel, an innocent puppeteer, Aerion demanded a trial by combat. Maekar supported Aerion's call for vengeance as well, as Daeron made accusations that Duncan had kidnapped Aegon. The trial by combat took the form of a trial by 7, which Maekar fought in himself. Maekar was unhorsed during the trial of 7, and he fought at the same time against his brother, Baelor Breakspear, and Lord Lionel Baratheon, both of whom supported Sir Duncan. Maekar delivered a lethal mace blow to Baelor's head. Baelor did survive the trial, but died soon after, when Steely Pate removed his helm. Maekar suspected that he would thereafter be in suspicion as a kinslayer. According to the chroniclers, Prince Maekar always bitterly regretted the passing of his brother, Baelor, and marked his anniversary every year. Dealing with the problem of his sons, Maekar banished Aerion to the Free Cities and offered Duncan a position in his personal guard to serve as a role model for Aegon. After Duncan refused, Maekar allowed Aegon to accompany the Hedge Knight in his travels as a squire, something utterly unheard of, especially for a prince of House Targaryen, and likely not something that would have been allowed if Maekar was further up the line of succession. Maekar made Aegon promise to keep his hair shaved or dyed to remain incognito, and also gave him a signet ring with his personal seal for protection in case of an emergency. In that same year of 209 AC, Maekar's father, King Daeron II, and nephews, Valar and Aerys, died from the Great Spring Sickness, meaning Maekar's brother succeeded to the throne as Aerys I Targaryen, and appointed their bastard uncle, Brynden Rivers, Bloodraven, as Hand of the King. Maekar had expected to be appointed Hand, and could not get along with Lord Bloodraven, so he withdrew from the court to his residence at Summerhall. According to Sir Eustace Osgrey, Lord Gorman Peake, and Sir Carl the Cat, Maekar sulked and brooded at Summerhall, never forgiving his brother for his rejection. After the accidental deaths of Daeron's third son, Rhaegal, in 215 AC, and Rhaegal's son, Aelor, in 217, the childless King Aerys recognized his sole surviving brother, Maekar, as his heir, and Maekar became the Prince of Dragonstone. Later, during the Blackfyre Rebellion in 219 AC, Maekar was recognized for his leadership and courage, and key role in the war, defeating Haegon and Aegor Rivers. Aegor Rivers was captured in the battle, and Bloodraven and Maekar's son Aerion both urged Aegor be executed. But King Aerys was merciful and allowed Bittersteel to join the Night's Watch, a fate he managed to escape, and something that would come back to plague House Targaryen once more. It is noted that Maekar's sons, Aerion and Aegon, both fought well and bravely during the Third Blackfyre Rebellion. Thus, when King Aerys I died of natural causes in 221 AC, Maekar rose to the Iron Throne, and a new age of Westeros began.